Live updates. China reports 573 new COVID-19 cases. More than 86,000 people infected as outbreak spreads around the world with hot spots in Europe and the Middle East. Thailand has become the latest country to report its first death from coronavirus as the outbreak continues to spread around the world with more than 86,000 people infected. On Saturday, several European countries announced new cases. Iran revealed another jump in infections, and Qatar became the latest Middle Eastern country to report its first case. South Korea, which is grappling with the largest outbreak of the virus outside China, has urged citizens to stay indoors, warning of a critical moment in the spread of the infection. Here are the latest updates. Sunday, March 1, 8:30 Greenwich Mean Time, South Korea reports 210 new cases in South Korea. Authorities have reported 210 new cases on Sunday afternoon. Earlier on Sunday, the Korea Centers for Disease Control and Prevention (KCDC) reported 376 cases and 1 death linked to the virus. The country's total infection stands at 3,736. Meanwhile, a 45-day-old baby has become the youngest person to be infected with the virus, the Korea Times reported on Sunday. The baby boy tested positive for coronavirus after his parents had contracted the virus, the report added. Baby and mother, both in self-quarantine, are in good condition according to officials. 7:15 Greenwich Mean Time, Pakistan to shut its border with Afghanistan. Pakistan said it will close its border with Afghanistan from tomorrow to prevent the spread of coronavirus. The Chaman border crossing will remain shut for 7 days, Islamabad said in a statement. During the period, necessary measures will be taken to safeguard the health of the people of both countries, the statement said. Afghanistan has reported 1 case of the virus, while Pakistan has confirmed 4, according to the WHO. 6:30 Greenwich Mean Time, Hong Kong dog tests positive for coronavirus. A dog has been quarantined in Hong Kong after it tested weak positive for coronavirus, officials said. Authorities said the dog belongs to a coronavirus patient. To the relief of animal lovers, authorities said there is no evidence yet the virus can be transmitted to man's best friend. 4:50 Greenwich Mean Time, South Korea closes churches to limit virus spread. Churches were closed in South Korea on Sunday, many holding services online instead, according to Reuters. In the capital, Seoul, about a dozen worshippers were turned away from the Yoido Full Gospel Church, which put a sermon for its 560,000 followers on YouTube, filmed with a small choir instead of the usual 200 members and 60-strong orchestra. I had heard there would be no service, but just came to check as I live nearby. But yes, it is so empty, said one of them, Song Young-koo, as he left South Korea's biggest church. It's a wise decision to do it online, since the virus would easily spread at mass gatherings and churches can be no exception. For the first time in its 236-year history, South Korea's Catholic Church decided to halt masses at more than 1,700 locations nationwide. Buddhist temples have also called off events. 4:36 Greenwich Mean Time, Thailand records first coronavirus death. Thailand has recorded its first fatality in the coronavirus outbreak, Reuters reported, citing Sawanchai Watanaing Jaron, Director General of the Department of Disease Control. The 35-year-old man also had dengue fever, Sawanchai told a news conference on Sunday. 4:20 Greenwich Mean Time, Armenia patient had returned from Iran. More details are emerging about the Armenian case. The patient is a 29-year-old citizen who returned to Armenia from Iran on Friday and went to a doctor because he was feeling unwell, Reuters said, citing Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan's Facebook page. He is now in good condition, Pashinyan said, adding that authorities plan to isolate those who had been in contact with him. Armenia closed its borders with neighboring Iran a week ago. It has also suspended flights to the country. 4:15 Greenwich Mean Time, Australia reports new case. Australia said on Sunday that it had confirmed an additional case of the coronavirus, bringing the total number of infections in the country to 26. 3:50 Greenwich Mean Time, Armenia reports first coronavirus case. Armenia's prime minister said the Central Asian nation had recorded its first case of the coronavirus, Reuters reported. 2:32 Greenwich Mean Time, American Airlines says suspending Milan flights. American Airlines said it would suspend flights from New York and Miami to Milan because of a reduction in demand. Flights are scheduled to resume on April 25, the airline said in a statement on its website. 2:16 Greenwich Mean Time, Australia records first coronavirus death. Australia has recorded its first death from the coronavirus after a 78-year-old man who had been evacuated from the quarantined Diamond Princess cruise ship died in a Perth hospital. Our condolences are with his family, and unfortunately he's the first death we've had from coronavirus in Australia, Andrew Robertson, the Chief Health Officer of Western Australia State, told journalists, according to Reuters. The man's wife also caught the virus, but is in stable condition, authorities said. Australia has reported 25 cases of coronavirus. 1 o'clock Greenwich Mean Time, South Korea reports 376 more coronavirus cases. The Korea Centers for Disease Control and Prevention (KCDC) said 376 more cases of coronavirus had been reported in the country, most of them in the hardest-hit city of Daegu and the province of Gyeongbuk. No new deaths were reported. The country now has a total of 3,526 cases. The KCDC will release a further update at 7 o'clock Greenwich Mean Time on Sunday. 0:01 Greenwich Mean Time, China reports 573 new coronavirus cases, 35 deaths. Mainland China reported 573 new confirmed coronavirus cases on February 29, up from 427 on the previous day, the country's health authority said on Sunday. The number of deaths stood at 35, down from 47 on the previous day, bringing the total death toll in mainland China to 2,870. Of the deaths, 34 were in Hubei province, the epicenter of the outbreak. The province also saw 570 of the new cases. Source: Al Jazeera and news agencies by Kate Mayberry and Hamza Mohammed.